So in today's video, I'm going to show you how to do a quick search and edit on a database, whether you have a single result, like in this case, or whether you have something where you have multiple results and you want to be able to edit one of those items. So you can search and then edit directly there and have it apply back to the database. So let's jump right in. So this is our data tab where our data is, and then we're going to pull that data into this search tab, and then we'll add some scripting so we can edit something here and it will populate back to this data tab. So first of all, we want to be able to search this and we want to come up with exact matches. So we want kind of a drop down here. This way we're going to do this is use a helper tab to first of all sort these options alphabetically. So just using the sort formula and that whole range selection. Then over here on the search tab, right click on the search field. We'll go down to drop down. And then here we're going to do drop down from a range. Click on our select data range, click in here. Come over to our helper tab, and then we just click on that A right there. Brings in the whole thing, click OK. And now it's going to fill those all in. So scroll down to the bottom, and then under advanced options, I'm going to do plain text just to make it a little more seamless. And then if we come back over here and we start typing in this field, you can see those options show up just like that. So next we need to come up with a way to pull that data into here. And so I'm just going to use a simple filter formula. And then we'll go to our data, select our entire data range here. I'm going to hit backspace to get rid of that 9. So it takes the whole thing, comma, and then our search field. So we're using name in this instance. And I'll show you how to modify that here in a little bit. So delete again that error reference and then equals, click back into search, and then I'm going to tie it back to this field just like that. Now you can see there it is. So it's grabbing all the data where column A is equal to B3. And so in this instance, we only have one row because we're doing exact match for a single person. So now what we need to do is create a app script to take a change and populate back to the data. So let's go ahead and create our app script. And then once that's created, we can go ahead and name this. We'll just call it script. And then what I'm going to do here is instead of my function, I'm just going to call this check my sheet. And then inside these parentheses, I'm just going to put E, and I'll explain that here in a second. So what we're going to end up doing is create a on edit trigger. And so whenever we edit something in one of these fields, it's going to trigger that change. And so what that on edit does then is it tells us things about what was changed in this E parameter. And so we'll create and add that trigger here after a minute. First, let's get some data. So we're going to start with let range is equal to E dot range. And that is the range that was edited. And so for there, we can get things like the row. And so range dot get row. We can get the column, range dot get column. And then we can get some other things from this E as well. So for example, we can get the sheet name, and this would be e.source.getActiveSheet. And then I'm just going to do a get name on this instead of just using the sheet itself, because we're going to access the spreadsheet app class just to make the autofill easier. And so let's get the value of what was entered. And this is just e.value. And then that should be enough to get started. So let's go ahead and if sheet name is equal to our search here, and then we want to do and so we use 2 ampersands. Row is 6 because we don't want it changing if we're typing up here. We only want it to work over on this row. So that would be row is equal to 6. When we do a double equals, it's comparing. And so this is going to be true or false. And so inside this if statement, we're going to do a couple things. And as long as they're all true, then it's going to continue and execute whatever code we have in here. So we can combine multiple with these double ampersands. And so assuming these are both true, we now need to be able to, first of all, determine what our edit is, which would be this. So let's say we change the street. That would be our value. And so we have the new value. So we need to find where this is in our data and then change the appropriate field. So what we're going to use here for our ID column is the name. Now, if you have the same name in this database, you will need a ID field. And so it could be a numeric field, customer ID, whatever it is, just so you can make sure you're referencing the correct one. But in this case, we're going to use names because names are unique here. Now, one thing, however, let's just say we added this. You'll see this filter formula turns into a ref error because this is now in the way because we just turned this into text instead of being populated by this formula. So if we try to get this name now, we're going to get ref, which we're not going to be able to look up. So the first thing we're going to need to do is clear this out so we can reference that name. And so what we can do then is, first of all, we need to get our spreadsheet. So we'll do that spreadsheet app class I was talking about before, and then our get active spreadsheet method. And then now we can do sheet. This will be ss.getSheet by name, and we have our sheet name right here. So sheet name, and then sheet.getRange, and then we have our row and our column, and then we're going to do clear content. And that will clear out whatever we typed in any of these fields so that we can go back and reference. Now, this new value is already saved here, so we don't have to worry about that. But to reference this name, we're going to have to do this little method called spreadsheet app flush to apply those changes. That way, when we go and reference that, we'll get the correct thing. And so that key, the name is here in B6. So let's do that. Let key equal sheet get range B6. And then we're going to do dot get value. And that will give us the name. And so now we can go to our data tab and get the values from this name field and figure out which row we need. So for that, let data sheet equals ss.getSheet by name data. And so now we have access to this tab. Now we just need to get the values from this column. And so we'll say let data sheet get range, and let's just do A2 to A, get values, because we're getting more than one cell. And then I'm going to do a dot flat to turn it into a single array. So you don't really need to know what that means, but it's just going to make it simpler for us to reference that here in a second. Let target row equals data index of key, and then we're going to do +2 here. And let me explain what this is doing. So this is getting all these values, so all the way down here. And then that index of is going to search for this name, and then it's going to return a number, and that's going to be the position. Now we have to do +2. These methods, these arrays, are 0 based instead of 1. And so basically in that array, this is actually row 0 or 0, not 1. And so if we do +2, then we'll get an actual row. So if that goes over your head, it's all right. All you need to know is if you use this dot index of method, look at what your starting row is here and add that to your index of. And so we're starting in row 2, so add 2 to this. All right, and now we can go to our data sheet, get range, and then we can take this target row, and then we need to figure out which column we need. So our search is floating out here. I moved it over 1. So if we didn't have this one, it'd be a little different, but I'm going to show you what it looks like if it's over 1. So basically over here, everything's offset by 1. So this is column B, this is column A. So what I need to do is column -1. And then we're going to do set value and do val, because val is whatever we entered. And so just to make sure this all populates correctly, we're going to do spreadsheet app.flush, and then that's all good to go. So I'm going to come back to here in a minute and add a little prompt that's going to guide us through what's happening as we go. And I'll explain that here in a minute. But first of all, let's authorize the script and add this trigger so that way we can test this out. So I'm just going to authorize it from here. So I'm going to click run, and this will result in an error from this method because this is an on edit trigger. And so it's not designed to run from this context, but it is going to work. So this is Google's disclaimer. So do the advanced and then go to script. And so the reason why it's doing that is it's just because it's requesting these permissions. And so Google just wants to make sure that you know to check out what's happening before you go forward. And so this is really about if other people have access to it. Continue. And then this error is perfectly normal because it's trying to look for this E. And since we're running from here, there is no E. But when we add this trigger, that E will be defined by our edit. So once this trigger interface is open, we're going to do add trigger. And then this should be check my sheet, and it will automatically populate as long as you don't have any other functions. And then we're going to come down here and change this to on edit. So check my sheet, head from spreadsheet and on edit, and then click save. And then now this is saved. I'm going to go back to the editor, which is just this brackets here. We can see this again. And now if we come here and I double click in here, let's change this to 499. So you can see it filled in there. It just cleared it for us. And then it just finished updating. So if I go search this one, you can see there it is, 499 Arkansas Parkway. So if I change this back, wait a second, and then it's back, and then we can see it changed here just like that. So that works perfect. We have this little delay, and so what I want to add is a little helper, and it's called a toast. So ss.toast, and we could say updating data, status, and then we're going to do -1 because that's going to keep it up until we write something else. And so then when the flush is complete, we're going to do toast again and say update complete. And this will just be a little visual of what's happening, so the user has a little better idea. And now that we're done, we're going to come back here and make sure you save project. So the save button before you go back to make sure those changes are applied. So now if we come over here and we'll just keep changes back, 499, what we're going to see here is a little pop-up on the lower right. So updating data, update complete. So pretty quick, but it gives a little visual about what's going on. So again, if we come down here, that is changed. And so let's just change something else here. Let's get rid of this F after the 5. And let's say we're changing the email address. So we're having the same thing, update complete. And there we go, that's now changed. All right, so that's the basics there. And so this may work just as is for you. I want to show you one more thing here though, is what if you have more than one row in your results? So let's look at how to handle that. So I'm going to copy this, and then we're going to do, let's just call this multiple. And then what I'm going to do is change this. Maybe we're going to do a sort on the states. And then let's start with 2 here. So we don't need all of these to show up. So let's do a unique on this as well. And then there is all of our states that we have in our data set. And so on our multiple, let's change this and go to the drop down. And this one, let's go to B instead. And then what we're going to do is on this one, we don't need to look in A, we need to look in E. And so E, just like that. And then let's look up a state. So California, for example, and you can see obviously we have many more of those. And so let's do a little bit of work here to fix this. And borders between, something like that. And now I'm going to start inserting some rows above here. All right. So basically what I need to do now is make it so if I change any of these rows, it's going to come back and change that data. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to leave this in place. And I'm basically going to add another one. So I'm just going to copy this whole thing, paste it down here. And then here, what I'm going to do is call this multiple. And so you can actually use multiple search pages with the same data set, and just using a separate if statement, you can handle each one differently. So in this one, we are not looking at just row 6. We're looking at anything 6 or greater. And so this one will be greater than or equals to 6. And so our value is still relevant. That is the value that gets changed. And then let's take a look real quick here. So this is fine. Updating data is fine. Sheet name is fine. This is fine. And so our key here, this is the one that needs to change. So B6 is not accurate because then it'd always pull this one. So it was down here. We basically need that same row just in column B. So let's do that. So we can do row and then our column will be 2. And so then after we change it, so let's say we're doing this one. After we change it, that ref is going to show up. So we're going to clear this and then we're going to come down here in row 8, column B, and get that Asher pegged in. And then we can go look at our data and update it. So it doesn't take much to change this. The rest of this should be all good. Let's take a quick look. Data sheet is fine. Key is fine. Set val. So let's go ahead and check this out. So let's change this here. So 47 Lunder Lane. And there we go. Update is complete. Let's take a look at another one here. So we have some zeros in front of these. So Brian Ferrier, 854. And there we go. Now it's updated. So that's how you adjust this to work with multiple rows. And then you can make your edits wherever you need to and get it all updated. All right, so that is it for today's video. I do have some other videos on building these dynamic search if you need a little more detail on that. Otherwise, check out the other videos on our channel for more tutorials on both Google Sheets and AppScript. And as always, have a great day.